June of 2000 here coming at you with movie review of one of my favorite werewolf films from the 80s, Silver Bullet, Stephen King Silver Bullet collector's edition. And I really love this collector's edition Blu-ray that Screen Factory back in the day gave a shit about their releases, giving you a nice kick-ass commission artwork with new slip covers and reversible artwork for the poster. Not the 4K shit that they come out nowadays where you don't have no reversible art. See, they weren't lazy. You also had the new artwork as a reversible side, but the reversible side was always reversed for like if you have the slip cover, you would switch it to the original poster. But if you had no slip cover, you would just keep it to the new artwork. But yeah, I know some people said that this poster sucks, but it's an okay poster. I kind of wish they went with the. I kind of wish they went with the poster. I think it's the overseas poster. It's the one where the werewolf is holding a bloody bat and he's like looking in and staring in front of Marty and Jane, who look all scared and stuff, and they're like in the bridge. I wish that artwork was on this instead. But I don't mind this. Like this is not a horrible original poster. Like I'm cool with it. It still gives you an eerie feel to the movie. But excuse me. It started in May in a small town, and every month after whenever the moon was full, it came back. The beast, the wolfman came back. Silver Bullet. I really love this movie with a passion. It's one of my all-time favorite werewolf movies. Up there with I Was a Teenage Werewolf from 1957, starring Michael Landon. And that's a very old movie, and that has not gotten a Blu-ray release. Like I feel like that movie deserves a Blu-ray release, like Silver Bullet. It deserves a Blu-ray because it never got a DVD release at all. It never did. It only had a VHS release, but it's out of print now to find that VHS. But the only way you see that movie is either look it on the website, look movies, or just watch the full movie on YouTube. But yeah, just the I know what you. I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Michael Landon, such an underrated werewolf film too. That just was so forgotten. It's not a movie that's hated by anybody. It's a forgotten movie that it really didn't get recognition. Like a lot of people didn't know it was out there. Younger people may not heard about this movie, but if you see the miniseries, you might see that. But yeah, it's a movie that never got a Blu-ray release at all. Not even a DVD release, a bare bone DVD release at all. So yeah, this shows you that movie does really deserve a Blu-ray upgrade one day. Hopefully, Kino may release that as a classic release Blu-ray, or if Vinegar Syndrome gets their hands on it and does a Blu-ray, I'll definitely pick that up because that's a movie I love with a passion, up there with Silver Bullet, American Werewolf in London, and other great werewolf films. Even Van Helsing's a good werewolf film. Uh, the Monster Squad's another one that's a good werewolf film because it has all the Universal monsters, but it's also the Wolfman's there, so that's a werewolf film. Yeah, there's a lot of werewolf movies that are good. Dog Soldiers, that's a good one. Badass werewolf film that has action and horror mixed and blend together that is nonstop with terror and action badass sequence throughout. Yeah, I love Box Soldiers. That's another movie that's super underrated. And yeah, werewolf movies are good. I'm more of a werewolf guy. I don't mind vampires because I know a lot of people want to say, "What do you pick, werewolf or vampires?" I'm more of a werewolf guy because I kind of like the beast creature mystery feel to it. I don't mind vampire stuff. It's just some of the stuff I just not into it, but I do love some Dracula movies. I do like 1979 Dracula film, and I do enjoy the From Dusk Till Dawn, and then the second film as well. Fuck the third movie. I haven't seen the TV show, but I heard good things about it. But I have not seen that show. But I just like the first two From Dusk Till Dawn movies, and I also like the first two Blade movies. Um, and Van Helsing also has Dracula, so that's also a vampire and Dracula, vampire and werewolf film. But yeah, back to the review, folks. Yeah, Silver Bullet from 1985, starring Edward McGill, Gary Busey, Corey Haim, and directed by Daniel Adius. This is the only movie that he directed. He would go on to direct a lot of good TV shows, episodes of great TV shows like The Sopranos, and I think he did ER. I might be mistaken, but he also did It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like he became like a big hit director at directing TV shows, episodes from big hit TV shows, but he didn't really do movies after this. They were even considering him to do more Stephen King movies, but he kind of just declined and just went on to do TV shows instead. But yeah, his directing was pretty good, even though it was his only time he directed a movie, and he didn't direct a movie, only TV shows after this. But he did a good job directing this movie. Daniel Alias, yeah, he did a good job. And the music is by Jay Shadoway. Guys, remember Jay Shadoway from Maniac 1980, William Lustig's Maniac with Joe Spinell. So he does the music in this movie, and it's really good. He's a good composer. I like Jay Shadoway, and the music is really well done. It just feels moody. It feels eerie. It feels creepy. It feels gothic. It feels just a really well done cinema. I mean, well done composing soundtrack. Especially the way the movie opens, where he just has this eerie, screechy music that just kind of feel like you're gonna watch a scary movie, but it goes on with like this little ominous mix in it, and it goes into like a smoothing. It transitions into a smoothing, somber music. Do 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 do. Really good soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. The score is really good, and Jay Shadoway did a good job because he even did a commentary interview on this where he wanted to like make it like feel like you wanted to build up the gothic way of how this werewolf is and how creepy he is and how scary he is with the eerie music to know that he is there. And yeah, that was a good interview with Jay Shadway. Even though it's not an in-person interview, it was a commentary interview. But the composing score by Jay Shadway was good. I thought the directing by Daniel Adidas was good. And of course, this was based on the novel, the short novella, short story by Stephen King. Of course, it was a short story, not a novel, like how all his novels are. Like Christine went on to become John Carpenter's Christine. The Shining became Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and his book Carrie became Brian De Palma's Carrie. And yeah, Psycho the Werewolf was the name of the little short story for this film. But they changed it to Silver Bullet and they made it into a full length film. Because a lot of movies, like Stephen King movies, were turned into shorts that were into movies. Like Maximum Overdrive, that was a short movie. I think that was like a short story, but that turned into a movie. Even Graveyard Shift it was a short story, but that turned into a movie. And that's a good film. That's an underrated film. But of course, it stars Gary Busey as Uncle Red, who's the uncle of Corey Haim, who's playing Marty Coselow. Rest in peace, Corey Haim. Sad that we lost him back in 2010. Very sad. Rest in peace, Corey Haim. But yeah, he did a good job playing Marty, who's a very likable kid that's not snotty or not annoying brat. He grew to like him because he is cool. He's down to earth. and he likes to hang out with his Uncle Red, who's played by Gary Busey. And I like Gary Busey. I do enjoy him as an actor. And every time I see in this movie, when I saw him, Gary Busey in this film, I always think of Gary Busey as Uncle Red. Every time I see him in another movie, I think of Uncle Red because that's the most recognizable role that Gary Busey has done with playing Uncle Red in Silver Bullet. Because I thought his performance was good, even when he's like in the scene where he's like drunk. Hey, jackass, pour me around beer. Hey, why didn't you let him talk to me? Call you a jackass. Oh, he called me that. Piss on the Yankees, piss on the Indians, piss on the Phillies, piss on the Max or the Mix or something. Bullshit luck. I'm beginning to feel like a horse's ass. That's what. And you are going to bed. What if I'd say no? Then I'm gonna kick your ass. Holy Jesus, Palomea. I like Gary Busey. He's great in this film as Uncle Red. It's just every time I see him in another movie, I like Gary Busey, but every time when I see him in another movie, I think of his Uncle Red role because it's so memorable. It's so funny. It's so awesome. Like his performance is great. And yeah, I thought him and Corey Haim, they had great relationship as being uncle and nephew. And I thought his sister was decent. I forgot the actress name. She is not credited, but her acting's not that bad either. Edward McGill, he plays Father Lowe, who's like the priest of the film. And of course, it turns out he's the werewolf. He's the wolfman that's been killing everybody in this town of Togger Mills, where everybody's been killed one at a time. The first guy that gets killed is this Arnie guy who's like a worker that's working at the railroad area, but gets his head decapitated by the Wolfman with big claws that decapitates his head. And he goes to the next victim where he kills this lady who's about to commit suicide because she's depressed and stuff. And while she's pregnant, but the werewolf man just breaks through the window, grabs the woman, and the lights turn off, and it's just a bunch of lightning, rain in the background flashing, so you can see what's barely showing, but it's very disturbing. Where he just grabs the wolfman, just grabs the woman and just starts clawing the shit out of her back, like very vicious. Like every time I see that shot, just seeing the shot where her back is just getting scraped, ugh, like pain is just getting scraped off, but it's like her skin is getting scraped off with a bunch of blood smearing all over the place, all over her bed, all over her lamppost. That part, like that shows you got a vicious wolf man right there. And he goes and kills more people. He kills some town folks that try to vigilante him. Kills one of them, who turns out one of the actors is Lawrence Tierney from Reservoir Dogs and The Prowler. Lawrence Lawrence Tierney, he's the one that is grabbed by the Wolfman because he has his weapon as the bat called the Peacemaker, and the Wolfman just beats the shit out of Lawrence Tierney with the bat while Lawrence Tierney's just cursing out at him. Oh, you son of a bitch! While he just holding the bat and it goes boom, growling, hitting him with the bat. Like, damn, that was a vicious part. And of course, he kills a kid that's a town kid, and he's also friends with Marty. This kid named Brady. His dad finds him and has a shocking reaction when he sees his dead body while he's looking under the covers that the cops covered his dead body of his dead son. And his dad has a scared reaction. They're all shocked what's going on. Marty's girlfriend's dad gets murdered one late night while he's looking through his gardens because somebody keeps making noise at his garden. Like, look, they're breaking into his garden place, and he gets attacked by the Wolfman and gets impelled into his stomach, which is a big spike of splinter wood that gets into his gut, stabs him, very vicious, and the Wolfman eats him in the down in the ground of hell. And yeah, it's just this movie's insane and crazy until you get the finale. Now they finally notice this is one enough. We got to get the Wolfman done, and it turns out Aaron McGill, who's Reverend Lowe, the priest of the film, in the character, he's the Wolfman. He's the one that gets his eye cut off because he gets his eye damaged by Marty because Marty's playing around with firecrackers that Uncle Red gave him, and he's by the bridge, and then Marty just gives the Wolfman a firecracker in the eye, and you see he has the eye patch, so he's the Wolfman, and he shows his transformation when he kills the town sheriff by ripping the eye patch, turning fully into the Wolfman, hitting the sheriff with a bat, boom, viciously and bloody. And now they know this is serious, and the Wolfman's gonna come after them. So Jane and Marty give Uncle Red their necklace to make a silver bullet, and you get this well shot scene that's so badass where this gunsmith guy is making a silver bullet, and you get Jay Shadoway's music that plays well with the soundtrack. Like the silver bullet theme song's playing in the background while the gunsmith is just making the bullet. Such a badass scene. And the guy even goes to Uncle Red, you gotta be pretty accurate with a silver bullet. How about a werewolf? Like he knew there was a wolfman out there. He knows about the wolfman. And like that was an interesting part of the film. But yeah, just well, that scene was well shot. And they're left alone with Uncle Red because Marty's and Jane's parents are going off on a trip. So Uncle Red's taking care of him that night. The Wolfman's about to come, and boom, he breaks the walls down to Jericho, has a bit of a tussle fight with Uncle Red. He's about to attack Jane, but Uncle Red saves Jane. Boom, has a vicious fight with the Wolfman, and the Wolfman look is well done. I know some people said that the Wolfman looks like shit. Like, what's bad about this Wolfman look? It looks good to me. It looks like a gothic, scary looking werewolf. Like it is a gothic looking scary werewolf. Like by far, it's a better looking werewolf than the Howling Force werewolf crap. That has got a shame. Like, yes, that's up there. Like, that is better than those stupid ass Howling sequels werewolf that look like shit after once in a while. The only good Howling movie was the first movie. That was it. All the sequels are trash. But yeah, if you want to see a sequel, watch Silver Bullet. Fuck the Howling sequels. This is Howling 2, Silver Bullet. Just call it that. Howling 2, the Silver Bullet. But yeah, they have a vicious fight. The look of the werewolf is well done. I like the werewolf. I have no problem with the look of it. It looks really cool, really gothic, and cool and scary. And he's having a fight with Uncle Red. Marty finally gets the bullet into the gun because the gun came off Uncle Red's hand when he was fighting with the Wolfman. But Marty gets the silver bullet into the gun, points it at the Wolfman that's coming after him, and shoots the Wolfman in the other eye with the silver bullet and kills him. And you get like this cool not stop motion, but transformation of the effects of the Wolfman turning back as Reverend Lowe, where the skin is going back into a human form, and the hairy body is going away, and you get the jump scare where Reverend Lowe is like growling and dies after that because he just does his last scare, like Randy says, one last scare, roar. Then Uncle Red comes for Jane, who's crying and stuff, and then she hugs Marty, and Marty's like already satisfied that he took down the wolfman with the silver bullet. And you also get some dialogue of older Jane dialoguing and narrating the movie. So I didn't think that was annoying or anything. Like sometimes, like some people may think it's annoying, but it didn't annoy me or anything. Like I thought it was fine. I thought the ending of it was kind of sad. Like when older Jane is like saying, "I love you too, Marty. Good night." It's like if she's like saying goodbye to Marty, like he's already been passed on, which is really sad to hear that because we know that Corey Haim is not longer with us. So it just gives a sadder note to that part of the end of the movie. And it kind of gives you an emotional, it kind of gave me an emotional feel to it because it's sad what happened to Corey Hames. Like, rest in peace, Corey Hames. I did like Corey Hames in other movies like Lost Boys and a few movies that he did with a collaboration with his best friend, Corey Feldman. And he did like a comedy movie in the 80s. I forgot. I saw it on YouTube. But it's like he's trying to disguise as a trans woman, but he's like trying to get away from this bully that's attacking him every week. I forgot the name of it, but it's on YouTube. Corey Haim is a good actor in the 80s, but he did a good job playing Marty. I thought him and Gary Busey were great as uncle and nephew. I thought the sister was pretty good. I forgot the actress name, but she's not credited in the back. But I thought the actors were good. Edward McGill, who would go on to be in Wes Craven's The People on the Stairs. He was also in Quest of Fire with Ron Perlman, which is like a caveman BC movie. And that's like a very underrated movie that nobody really sees or that's around. That sees that movie's around. I think that should get a Blu-ray or 4K one day. But Aaron McGill was also a bad guy in Under Siege 2, and he was also in the Twin Peaks show. The 90s Twin Peaks show, not the current one that happened in the 2014s. But yeah, I really enjoy this movie. This is one of my personal favorite werewolf films. I just love this movie. And I love this really badass commission, badass artwork. Like, you gotta admit, that is such a badass artwork. Back when Screen Factory gave a shit and had great people working there. But all in all, I love this movie. Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.